Ladies and gentlemen, members of the university faculty and our degree candidates, as Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs here at the University of Texas at Arlington, I hereby call this commencement ceremony to order. If you would, I would like to ask everyone to please rise for the entrance of our national colors by the UT Arlington Corps of Cadets, which will be followed by the singing of our national anthem by Ashley Gent. Gentlemen, if you would please remove your caps. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I would now like to call upon Dean Paul Wong to preside over this evening's ceremony. Dean Wong.
Good evening, and welcome to the fall 2015 commencement of the College of Liberal Arts. My name is Paul Wong. I'm the Dean of the College and a Professor of Sociology. It is my privilege, along with representatives of the faculty of the college, to welcome you to this evening's commencement ceremony. We are honored to have with us today our university president, Dr. Vistap Kabari, and the University Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Ronald Elsenbaumer, as well as Dr. Tim Quinnen, Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Kimberly Van Noort, Associate Vice Provost of Undergraduate Studies and Director of the University College, Dr. Ashley Ferguson, Assistant Vice President for Strategic Initiatives, Mr. Jeff Jeter, Director of Legislative Relations, and Dr. Carl Petruso, Dean of the Honors College. I would also like to acknowledge members of the Platform Party and others who have worked to help make this day so very special. Please hold your applause until all have been identified. Dr. Elizabeth Cawthorn, Associate Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, Dr. Eric Bosley, Assistant Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, Dr. Leslie Riding-In, Assistant Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, will assist with the recognition of students, and Professor Dennis Maher, Department of Theater Arts, will serve as announcer. We would also like to recognize the UT Arlington Jazz Orchestra, conducted by our own Tim Ishii, professor in the Department of Music. Other liberal arts faculty assembled here include the chairs or acting chairs of the departments: Professor Robert Howard, Art and Art History; Professor Charlam Maham Shaw, Communication; Professor Ken Curley, Criminology and Criminal Justice; Professor Kevin Porter, English; Professor W. Marvin Delaney, History; Professor Laurel Swen, Linguistics and TESOL; Professor Chris Conway, Modern Languages; Professor Rick Bogart, Music; Professor Ken Williford, Philosophy and Humanities; Professor Rebecca Dean, Political Science; Professor Bob Kunovich, Sociology and Anthropology; and Professor Kim LaFontaine, Theater Arts, as well as faculty from each department. For many of you, this is your first commencement at the University of Texas at Arlington. But this ceremony has a long and honored tradition. At the end of this evening's processional, you saw Professor Dan Cavanaugh, Chair of Faculty Senate and Associate Professor in the Department of Music, carrying the commencement mace, a symbol of the university's authority to award degrees. The mace was created in 2008 by David Keynes, retired professor of art, assisted by mental art adjunct professor Fred Miller. On the mace, we see all the names of our institution from Arlington College in 1895 to the present University of Texas at Arlington. For those of you who are receiving your doctoral, master's, or bachelor's degree, this is a day long anticipated, a day of excitement, a day to celebrate great achievement. Many of you have worked full or part-time jobs, care for families, or carry other responsibilities while completing your degree requirements. Some of you have traveled great distances to earn your degree at UT Arlington. Some of you are completing more than one degree. On this day, we extend our warmest congratulations to all of you. Each of you has a right to be very proud for having reached this milestone. We celebrate the academic achievements represented here this evening. I would like to take a moment to recognize an important group of people who helped each graduate reach this important milestone: members of the faculty. These dedicated women and men have not only provided you with important classroom instruction, but they have shaped your intellectual formation in labs, in the field, and in the community. They have served as teachers, mentors, and role models. collaborating with you in the pursuit of academic achievement and preparation for what lies ahead, be it further study, entry into the educator workforce, or some other post-commencement adventure. Would all members of the faculty please rise to be recognized? Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce our speaker this evening, Mr. Jeff Luschel. Mr. Luschel earned his Bachelor of Arts in Political Science with highest honors in 1977 from the University of Texas at Arlington and graduated from the University of Texas School of Law in 1980. Jeff joined the law firm McCall, Parkhurst, and Horton, LLP, upon his graduation from law school and became a partner in the firm in January 1985. He is now one of the senior partners in the firm. Jeff specializes in the practice of public finance law and represents numerous municipalities, state agencies, and institutions of higher education as bond counsel, including the Texas Water Development Board, the Oklahoma Water Resources Board, the University of North Texas System, and the cities of Austin, Dallas, and Fort Worth. Jeff serves on the Development Council here at UT Arlington. In 2013, Jeff was recognized by the University of Texas at Arlington as a distinguished alumnus of the university. Jeff acted as bond counsel on the Love Field Airport Modernization Corporation financing for the redevelopment of Dallas Love Field, which was selected by the bond buyer as the Southwest Region Deal of the Year for bonds issued between October 1st, 2010 through September 30th, 2011. Jeff acted as bond counsel to the Texas Water Development Board in the issuance of $810 million of bonds, delivered in November 2015 to finance state water plant projects under the constitutional amendments adopted by the citizens of Texas in November 2013, authorizing $2 billion to be transferred to the State Water Implementation Fund for Texas. The $810 million of bonds were the first issuance of bonds by the Texas Water Development Board to provide financial assistance for state water plant projects, and Jeff created the legal structure for the $810 million of bond, as well as for future financing for state water plant projects. Jeff has worked closely with legislators in drafting legislation on matters affecting public finance in the state of Texas. Jeff assisted in drafting the legislation that was enacted by the state legislature in 1987 as the Public Funds Investment Act. He worked closely with the Speaker, the Lieutenant Governor, and the sponsors in the Texas House and Senate in drafting amendments to the Public Funds Investment Act that were enacted into law in 1995. Jeff has testified numerous times before House and Senate committees on bills that would amend or would have amended the Public Funds Investment Act, most recently through the 2015 regular session of the Texas legislature. Jeff and his wife, Jenny, celebrated their 32nd wedding anniversary in July 2015. They are the proud parents of two daughters, Catherine, who is in her final year of law school at the University of Texas School of Law, and Celeste, who is a junior at the Ursuline Academy of Dallas. Mr. Luschel.
Good evening. Many of you tonight have asked and answered many questions to get to this point, to get your degree and be awarded your degree. You've asked questions and have had questions asked of you in classrooms, You've taken tests and quizzes where you've had to answer questions. And you've also had to answer a lot of questions from your friends and your family about why are you here and what are you going to do and what's next for you. Well, tonight, I want to bring to you 3 questions to consider. You don't have to answer them. I'll try to answer them. They are, why are you here? What does your degree say about you? And what would you do without your degree? But first, let me ask one other question. Why was I asked to give this address tonight? As you heard from Dean Wong, I'm a graduate. I went through the same thing that you are going through tonight many years ago, many years ago now. We share very similar experiences in getting to the point that we've reached, but I'm sure that I have one experience that most of you have not experienced in your time here at the university. In order for me to have crossed Cooper Street, I had to step and walk across Cooper Street. I did not have the benefit of these elevated walkways that you have, getting you from one side of the campus to the other, safely, securely. Back when I was a student here, the relations between the community and the university weren't as good as they were today, and you often felt that you were targets of cars driving by you, trying to startle you, see if you drop your books, or worse. It made you really think about, I only have 5 minutes to get to that speech class on the other side of the street. Do I really want to do this? Well, I guess we'll find out tonight if what I learned in that speech class was of any use to us as I give these remarks. My experiences here at the university really did prepare me for law school as well as my career as an attorney. After all the years of practicing law and serving clients, I realized that I needed to do more to benefit those and help those who really gave me help. University of Texas at Arlington was at the top of that list. And I'm very pleased to be able to be here tonight to make these remarks. I want to thank Dean Wong for giving me the opportunity to address you this evening. Why are you here? Now, a lot of you are saying, I know what I did to get to this point. I put in all the time. I made all the sacrifices. I did all the work. I really don't need to go through this to be justified and acknowledged in the award of my degree. Well, this isn't just about you tonight. You've had help from family and friends. You've had great assistance from your professors and administrators. This is a moment in which all of them take a great deal of pride in what you have accomplished and to be here tonight. This honors them as much as it honors you. This ceremony not only recognizes your accomplishments, but it also acknowledges the focus and persistence that you did employ to get to this evening. It is not easy to get to a point where you're graduating. You fulfilled the academic requirements. Many of you have worked jobs, maybe multiple jobs. You have family to take care of. You have children to take care of. Your focus and persistence, in spite of all those conflicts, is a great reason why you're here tonight and being acknowledged for your accomplishments. The efforts that you have employed to get to this point tonight evidence your ability to recognize opportunities. Opportunities are going to be what you're going to be facing in the future and choices about those opportunities. Your education here has prepared you for that moment and those moments to come as you pursue future endeavors. What does your degree say about you? First, it shows that you have the ability to problem solve. You have the ability to weigh options, manage situations, come up with solutions to those situations. Problem solving is one of the great things that I experience in my practice of law. You will experience it as you proceed in endeavors that you're to follow tonight and looking to move toward. Problem solving is a critical element no matter where you go in today's world. You are flexible. You have to be flexible to manage all the demands on your time as well as the demands of all your professors and coming up with following through with papers, getting to a job on time, and getting through to writing exams with confidence and with assurance that you did the best that you could. You've shown the ability to interact with people of many different nationalities, with many different experiences, and with many different interests in life opportunities. And you have incorporated those into your skill set as you move forward from here tonight, whether you're aware of that or not. In today's world, being able to work with people of diverse backgrounds and cultures is an essential. You are focused and persistent in reaching those goals. Your degree confirms that you have those qualities that you will need going forward in whatever your next endeavors will be. What would you do without your degree? Some of you are saying, well, I wouldn't have incurred as much debt as I did in order to finance obtaining my degree. College is not inexpensive anymore, and you had to make sacrifices financially to get to where you are tonight. But that's really not what you would be doing without your degree. Those of you who are going on to graduate school, tonight is the primary requisite for you to go on to graduate school. You need a degree to go on to study in your future higher education goals and aspirations, whether it be seeking a master's degree or going to law school or going to medical school. Without your degree, those of you who are going on to enter the workforce would be at a competitive disadvantage because you do not have the options that others who have degrees do have. The degree that you've earned tonight gives you the ability to show to a workforce that you have the goals and objectives that they are seeking by hiring you. You have fulfilled a great step by qualifying and being awarded this degree tonight. Your degree is an evidence of that. It's a seal of approval to an employer that you do have the abilities that they're looking for. And let's face it, in today's world, you're not just competing with your peers here on the stage and on the floor tonight. You're competing with not only your graduates throughout the state and throughout the United States, but throughout the world. This is a global market that we're in today. You have to be able to be flexible to adapt to the demands of the global market. Your degree here puts you on equal footing with peers around the country and around the world as you move on to the next phase in your life. Now, why do I believe that your options are enhanced by graduating from the university? Let's face it, your degree does not guarantee a job. A university is not a trade school. But what your liberal arts degree evidences is that you have developed and will become a productive participant in society. You will be successful in the workplace or successful in graduate school as you leave here tonight. By being a COLA graduate, that will allow you to compete with graduates throughout the United States and the world, and you have been able, through your education here, to be successful as I experienced when I graduated from here these many years ago. Now, don't be surprised when you get out into the workforce or leave graduate school that you might ask yourself, why did I get that degree in political science? Or why did I get that degree in criminal justice? You may be using your liberal arts degree for something you'd ever intended or thought that you would use it for. You may be running a business. You may be going into an entirely different profession. Or you may be doing something that none of us tonight can even contemplate. Let me give you an example of that. It wasn't that long ago that using a wristwatch as a telephone was just a subject that you would see in a comic strip like Dick Tracy. Today, I can use an Apple Watch to monitor my blood sugar. That's a substantial step that has taken place in a very short period of time. Those are the experiences that you will be looking to try to solve and try to come up with competitive ways to address. And this evening tonight is your first step on that venture. Don't be afraid of where the paths will take you as you go out from here tonight, whether it's the studies at graduate school or in the workforce. You will find that there are plenty of times when you will be questioning the path that you've taken. Learn from those experiences. Be flexible and think about the opportunities that are provided to you as a result of those forks in the road, if you will. Don't fear change. Change is the constant that the world revolves around, and you will be a part of that change as you move forward. You enjoyed the journey to get to this point. Don't forget to enjoy the journeys that you will pursue after you leave here tonight. Learn from what the journeys teach you and be open to those teachings. Be a maverick. You've been taught by a world-class faculty and been exposed to a wide variety of perspectives. You've been taught to think and to challenge those thoughts, whether they're of your friends or of faculty or of other of your family members as you talk about things and discuss life. I knew that I was attending a world-class institution and being taught by a great faculty when I was a sophomore here. I was taking an English literature class. We were studying the book Under the Volcano, written by Malcolm Lowry. The protagonist of that novel, Jeffrey Furman, had great thoughts in his last day of his life as he remembered all the things that he had accomplished, people he had helped as a consulate in the British government in Mexico, people he had had relationships with, and how he helped them solve those dilemmas that they were facing. There was only one problem. Jeffrey Furman was an alcoholic. The thoughts he had were under the influence of alcohol, and you really didn't know if they were real thoughts or just delusions that he had because of his drinking problem. Naturally, the professor really liked this book and liked the character quite a bit. And in our exam, he wanted to point out and have us discuss the Jeffrey Furman influence in the novel. Well, my answer was not what he had taught. My answer was, I couldn't trust what he had to say. I didn't think he was reliable. I couldn't believe him because he was an alcoholic, and I couldn't tell if his thoughts and actions were real or delusional. Well, the time came for us to get our exams back, and before he began to pass out our blue books, by the way, do you guys still use blue books when you do essay tests in your classroom? Okay, good. I don't have to explain that one. That's helpful. He started to hand out the exams, but stopped and said, before I do this, I want to read the answer to one of the questions that a student wrote. Everybody's just immediately stiffened and sat up because nobody has ever experienced that before. As luck would have it, he began to read my answer. After reading it, he said, I couldn't have disagreed with this student more. However, this student had clearly read the book and had thought about it, wrote an answer that was well-reasoned and thoughtful, and it made me reconsider my views of Jeffrey Furman. I gave that student an A. Well, at that point, I took my head off the desk and breathed a sigh of relief, and everybody else kind of said, glad it wasn't my answer that he read. Learning to think on your own, to be exposed to different ideas, to learn to reason, to listen, and to speak your mind, both to your friends and your peers and your professors, that's the greatest skill that you've learned as a student here and as evidenced by your degree tonight. Don't just be a dreamer like Jeffrey Furman. Act upon your ideas that you dream about. Put them into effect and try to accomplish what you set out to do. I want to congratulate you on your accomplishments and being here tonight. I wish you the best in the future. I hope you have a great time tonight and as you move on from here in the paths that you pursue. I am proud to say that at the end of the evening, you and I will be sharing one thing in common. We will be alumni of the University of Texas at Arlington. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luschel, for your inspiring words. And now we begin the awarding of degrees. Please notice that many candidates will have course stoles and medallions to recognize their accomplishments and achievements. Some you will notice include a double gold cord indicating cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude. It is our pleasure to recognize the candidates receiving the Doctor of Philosophy degree. Dr. Leslie Riding-In, Assistant Dean of Graduate Studies, will present the candidates.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree and Master of Fine Arts degree please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Sherry R. Blair, English, Professor Tim Morris. Alan M. Cockrum, English, Dr. Amy Tigner. Kristen D. Burton, Dr. Chris Morris, History. Xuang Wang, Art, MFA.
His mic's off. Will the candidates for the Master of Arts degree and Master of Music degree please rise and please come forward to be recognized?
We will now recognize the master's candidates in the Department of Communication. Gabriela M. Granado, Communication, Master of Arts. Vanessa Lynn Longoria. Jared Allen Phillips. Johnny L. Wellborn. Criminology. We will now recognize the master's candidates in the Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice. John Akar. Otavio L. Aguirre. Alexander A. Anderson. Jamila Yanni Brimage. Sheldia Burrell. Deborah E. Butler. Shamika LaShawn Denson. Aileen Enriquez. Desiree S. Favors. Armando Garcia. Christopher Andrew Horn. Jasmine Lakeithia Jackson. Justin Wayne Leathers. Laura Elizabeth Lewis. Marcus William Lewis. Keegan Amanda Martin. Olusegun Samuel Ebimfemi. Michael McCord. Nancy Medina. Francis W. Minicon. Stephanie Latrice Murray. Martinique Diamante Otave. Indra C. Pinkney. James Dawan Reed. Austin Santana. Richard Kenneth Scott. Wesley Lawrence Shipman. John Singleton. Amber Rose Spracklin. Carmenisha Eugenia Spraglin. Sherelle Piera Servion. Logan Derek Trotter. George Varghese. Stephen R. Wiley. Brittany Michelle Wolfe. We will now recognize the master's candidates in the Department of History. Eric Matthew Chastain. Ethan Jacob Gardiner. Charles Edward Marks. Zachary Tarrant. We will now recognize the master's candidates in the Department of Foreign Languages, Modern Languages. Helen Holm. Veronica Pantoja. Guillermo S. Rios. Efren Silos. We will now recognize the master's departments in the Department of Music. Jessica A. Shadman. We will now recognize the master's candidates in the Department of Political Science. Deshaun S. Thompson. We will now recognize the master's candidates in Sociology and Anthropology. Chad J. Austin. Latonya Nicole Davison. Kelsey Renee Wilson.
Will all candidates for all bachelor's degrees please rise? Please rise. These candidates, by satisfactorily completing the current semester of academic work, will meet all the requirements for the degrees as specified by the department faculty and the undergraduate assembly. I'm pleased to recognize that they are completing the degree for which they have been certified. Congratulations to all. Please be seated. Professor Robert Howe will now present the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the Department of Art and Art History.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees from the Department of Art and Art History please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Shannon A. Bowen. Christopher Michael Holton. Thuslim Khan. Genesis Alexandra Martinez. William M. McElroy. Jimmy Trong Nguyen, cum laude. Christopher Chi Nguyen. Roberto Daniel Penalba, cum laude, minor political science. Ariel S. Richardson. Juan Rodriguez. Kayla Rowland. Hugo Alberto Ruiz. Jessica Lee Smith. Liana Tualia, cum laude. Samuel Ian Tushim. Bridget M. Chandler. Kelly Josephine Blevins, cum laude. Adeo E. Cisneros, cum laude. Crystal D. Cobb. Michael A. Conop. Andrea Lee Kronberg. Cynthia Delatorre, magna cum laude. Megan DeSoto, cum laude. Selena Granado, cum laude. Gabriel Guerrero. Daniel Haddad Triconis, summa cum laude. Abel Isidro. Jonathan Russell Jaggers. Leslie Elizabeth Lemus. Jonathan Anthony Malamoros, magna cum laude. Joseph W. Malat, summa cum laude. George Alex Martinez. Estefania Lua. Karina Reyes. Kelly C. McCabe. Zara McInnes, summa cum laude. Ethan C. Moon, magna cum laude. Moises Huncaria Mora. Miriam Jamil Naba, magna cum laude. Susan H. Nguyen, summa cum laude. Amber Nichols, magna cum laude. Christina Nicole Overstreet. Arvel H. Perry. Eric Ramirez. Alexander Michael Rosales, cum laude. Todd R.T. Russell, summa cum laude. Suzanne K. Salazar, magna cum laude. Bipanasa Shrestha, cum laude. Ashley Smith, cum laude. Chelsea L. Snyder. Tanya Cecilia Vertala, cum laude. Tremon White. Megan E. Wood, summa cum laude.
Professor Chala Maham Shaw will now present the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the Department of Communication.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Communication please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Sol Arekar. Shabina Aslam. Natalie Van Berry. Nia Diane Bozalikwa. Alexis Renata Brazel. Max J. Brees. Sonia A. Brozowski. Brittany D. Buckley, double major, advertising and public relations. Leslie Q. Cardoza. Vanessa Cordova. D'Angela L. Giles, double major, advertising and public relations. Dario Gilgoric. Gabrielle Mara Griffin. Sophia S. Jaffarelli, double major, public relations and advertising. Erica C. Long, public relations and advertising, double major. Josue Martinez. Jonathan Murillo. Tran Nuk Nguyen, advertising and public relations, double major. Cirila Ocampa Jr. Miguel A. Salinas Jr. Alonte B. Spears. Vastem Tolbert III. Andrew Waller. Hannah Elizabeth Barnett. Rebecca Rose Briscoe, magna cum laude. Hunter Darnell Clark. Allison Mackenzie Cox, double major, public relations and broadcast majors. Kenzie Cox. Clinisha S. Dorch. Omobarde Isiyen. Ryan Chandler Gar, cum laude. Rachel Garrett. Shubham Gautam. Froilan Guerrero. Arlan Hernandez. Kira Sue Devante Johnson. Elizabeth Lidiquette. Latricia Maddox. Brianna G. Metrado. Kemi Ogunbanwo. Morgan Fursick. Jeremy Portales. Cesar Roberto Ramirez Arca. Trey Devante Stein. Christopher Dean Whetstone, magna cum laude. Brittany Baston. Woodjala Lee Bennett. Eddie Cobham, cum laude. Casey Alexander Dawson. Grace Ann Fisher, cum laude. Noriko Martinez. Henry Young Muhumuza. Millicent A. Nainangon. Marjorie Marisha O'Neill. Elizabeth Alicia Pavia. Natalie Ann Pyrrhic. Alexander Jeremiah Randolph. Arman Amlani. Alexander Scott Barrington. Jamal D. Gibson. Gerardo Gonzalez Izunza. Jonathan McCoy. Patricia K. Mireles, magna cum laude. Joannis Mutoke. Parth Vogesh Patel. Daphne Perales, double major, Comtech and advertising. Joshua Dean Strickland. Michael Wayne Wood. Laura E. Woodside, cum laude. Alue Fadul. Grant A. McKinley. Diana Mendoza. Wyatt Sloan. Kelsey Lynn Thompson. Yaditza D. Vasquez. Chase B. Williams. Lauren N. Womble. William Adrian Ailman, cum laude. Charlisa C. Bailey Moses. Zalina Bassam Barakat. Dayton Thomas Bell. Secret Ophelia Bridgewater. Robert Jovan Davis. Brandon R. Dimmings. Raymond A. Diaz. Casey Douglas. Monica Nicole Favela. Daniel Garcia. Constantino Gonzalez Jr. Veronica Guerrero. Christina R. Harris. Dakota Lee Hart. McKinley Lee Hendricks. Lauren Elizabeth Hollabaugh. Jesus Francisco Ibarra. Anastasia Alice Jones. Ashi Jones Ogbeki. Son Luong Kevin. Robert Oliver Malone, cum laude. Georgia Martinez. Maria J. Martinez, cum laude. Ramy G. McCool, cum laude. Jennifer Isabel Mendoza, cum laude. Annalise M. Miranda. Kadiha Muhammad Rashid. Emily M. Nelson, summa cum laude. Elisa Len Plasek Dells. Allison Marie Price. Lionel Ramos. Miranda Cheyenne Reeves. Ana Crista Robles. Madeline Cisaros. Stephanie Scroggins. Sala Shisakli. Jillian Tuesday Tapia. Pauline K. Chofo. Hannah C. Telkamp, cum laude. Eric Tan Tran, cum laude. Annette Vasquez. Chloe Chanel Walker. Aisha Nicole Willis.
We'll now present the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and Criminal Justice please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Aisha Anderemo. Amal Ali Al Yafai. Estrella Rossi Almares. Dominique L. Baker. Fernando Barragon. Bianca A. Cardona. Amanda Carrizales, magna cum laude. Janet Chavez. Michelle Denise Coffer. Nestor Antonio Colicio Martinez. Scott Cameron Creasy, summa cum laude. Javier A. Cruz. Amanda Marie Davila. Felicia D. Deliher, summa cum laude. Angelina Danielle Dixon. Matthew Stephen Dondero, cum laude. William Alexander Duran Velazquez. Victor Echeverria. James E. Ellems. Amanda Flores. Sierra C. Faget. Jesus Felipe Paz. Shimanye M. Fluellen. Gabrielle Rochelle Garcia. Andrea Nicole Garza. Martin Gonzalez. Keandra Renee Hardeman. Shay Dwight Henson. Gabriela Hernandez Garcia, cum laude. Jonathan Herrera. Melinda Jo Hestelo Flint. Deborah Denise Johnson, cum laude. Joey M. Salas. Jesse Glee Kruger. Nayaliz M. Lafontaine, cum laude. Trevor Lawson. Leonardo Lopez Jr. Lindsay Giselle Lopez, magna cum laude. Demi E. Martinez. Osvaldo Abel Medrano. Aaron Omar Mumand. Francisco Javier Morales Jr., magna cum laude. Olga Gabriela Morales. Cesar A. Munoz, cum laude. Dina Orona. Rosina Ortega, magna cum laude. Angelica Perez, summa cum laude. Mirna Janeth Ramirez. Rossi Ramos Medina. Laura Lee Reyes. Luz Alicia Rodriguez. Patricia Rodriguez. Caitlin Michelle Romine. Antoine Salazar. Kelly Lynn Guadalupe Salzeda. Kelly Louise Scher, cum laude. Linnea F. Sherwin. Sergio Sixtos, cum laude. Jasmine Smith, cum laude. Pamela Smith. Sharika Danielle Smith. Mia Monet Spears. Kari N. Stokes. Caitlin M. Strickland, cum laude. Mason L. Swafford. Destiny Linnell Tyler. Andrew Simon Thompson. David J. Tomich. Daniel Lee Travitz. Christopher Anthony Valencia. Brittany Vasquez, summa cum laude. Fidel Velasquez. Nicholas Allen Wenzel. Rustin Lee Bell. Ashley Nicole Clow. Almendra Garcia. Brenda Carol Harris. Derwana S. Murphy.
Professor Kevin Porter will now present the candidates for bachelor degrees in the Department of English.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in English please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Erica Deanna Barraza. Evan DeJuan Bate. Destiny Becknell. Samuel Taylor Brown. Reagan Faith Ewing. Ricardo Garza. Lauren Adele Gibson. Zara Tahira Hassan Jawad. Maribel Hernandez. Nicholas Stephen Klein. Neil Elliott McAllister. Mark Raymond McMonigal, double major, philosophy and English, cum laude. Anne Marie Manto. James Patterson. Michael Thomas Riojas, magna cum laude. Eleni Yasmin Salinas. Evelyn D. Singleton. Haley Michelle Stanaland. Casey L. Stubblefield, magna cum laude.
Professor Marvin Delaney will now present the candidates for bachelor degrees in the Department of History.
Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts in History please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Edgardo Avilar. Caroline Jo Baxter. Courtney R. Broderick, double major, History and Philosophy, summa cum laude. Brandon Keith Carper, magna cum laude. Brian Joseph Klock. Matthew Guy Donaldson. Coy Joseph Goodson. William James Hansard, summa cum laude. Rayanna Lynn Heft, summa cum laude. Michael Todd Ingraham. Angela Mia Jensen. Leslie Elaine Johnson Winston. Jonathan A. Nadel. Timothy F. McDermott, cum laude. Ryan P. Moore. Violetta Nikolic. Bradley E. Norris. Devontae Patterson. Ashley Michelle Powell. Rebecca D. Queen. Richard Eric Sherrod. Alexandra Noel Smith. Luis Suarez. Jordan D. Turner. Brian Douglas Wheeler. Lauren L. Spurrier.
Professor Laurel Swan will now present the candidates for bachelor degrees in the Department of Linguistics and TESOL.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Harmony M. G. Summa cum laude. Kelsey N. Griffith, summa cum laude. Alberto B. Navarro, cum laude. Frankie Marie Pennington, cum laude. Martha Ramos. Laika Santiago.
Professor Ken Williford will now present the candidates for bachelor degrees in the Department of Philosophy and Humanities.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Kayla Renee Boyd. Courtney B. Broderick, summa cum laude, double major history and philosophy. Ralph Castro, cum laude. William S. Heaps. Cody Ryan Martin, cum laude. Mark Raymond McMonigal, cum laude, double major English and philosophy.
They're here, you just missed them by accident. Pages were stuck together. Oh, yeah.
Delaney,
History.
history, linguistics. But that's modern languages, yeah. Professor Chris Conway will now present the candidates for bachelor degrees in the Department of Modern Languages.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in French, Spanish, and Critical Languages please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Giselle E. Ichku. Ryan J. Hilton, summa cum laude. Angelica Munoz. Santiago Raul Tetemanti. Flor de Maria Angelica Aguiar Manjares. Corina Contreras Campos. Christian Scott Hernandez Cross. Cindy Diane Elias. Iris Escobar. Rosalinda Guerra. Rocio Daniela Lopez. Mera Alicia Maldonado. Jessica Nava. Beatriz Resendez Rico. Teresa R. Smith. Adriana N. Tapia. Elizabeth Ashley Wyatt.
Professor Rick Bogart will now present the candidates for bachelor degrees in the Department of Music.
Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Music please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Casey A. Barge. Javier J. Cantu. Jonathan Michael Cole, magna cum laude. Logan Z. Davis. Joshua T. Hand, cum laude. Samuel D. Jones III. Loida Roque P. Osorio, cum laude. Thomas O. Prismozic, summa cum laude. Monica Marie Ramirez. Caitlin Elise Rafkind, summa cum laude. Tyler D. Richardson. Kayla Michelle Scales. Shelby Diane Thomas, magna cum laude. Keith Allen Tyndall.
Professor Rebecca Dean will now present the candidates for bachelor degrees in the Department of Political Science.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Political Science please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Tamara Alter. Chelsea Elizabeth Biddick. Christopher Michael Carrion, magna cum laude. Jessica N. Corrigan. Joshua Mark Duncan. Anna Marie Esman. Anna Margarita Garza. Kaylee L. Goodman. Terrence Ramond Harbin. Taylor Marie Hughes. Justin R. Jones. Patrick A. Kelly. Daniel Ahmad Khan. Barry Jonathan Lancaster. Norma Mendoza. Millicent A. Nayangon. Arslan Batroyevich Patyakov. Polly Deanne Rourke. Olivia M. Roberts, summa cum laude. Lee Fitzgerald Robinson. Mauricio Rodriguez. Heba Yursi Saeed. Yasmin Angelica Smith, summa cum laude. Audrey Marissa Spring. Fatimata Binetu C. Giovanni Torres. Christian Ali Villalobos. Emma Claire Vosberg, magna cum laude. Simone Lauren Waters.
Professor Robert Kunovich will now present the candidates for bachelor degrees in the Department of Sociology and Anthropology.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology please rise and come forward to be recognized?
Mira Kulkarni, Hannah N. Melat, Barbara Manuel, Salem M. Mahana, Sandra Vaquera, Ashley Elizabeth Wolf, Simone Lashea Bailey, Jacob Gabriel Garza, summa cum laude, Brianne D. Hamilton, Vanessa Annette Obi, Stacy Lynette Rayon, Tania Renisha Vines, criminal justice.
And now Professor Kim LaFontaine will present the candidates for bachelor degrees in the Department of Theater Arts.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts in Theater Arts and Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater Arts please rise and come forward to be recognized and prepare for your final bow.
David Saldivar, Adrian G. Stecker, Jaylene Torres, Whitley L. White Bodie, Chastity Rochelle Willis, magna cum laude.
Congratulations to all of you. While this day and this ceremony is focused on the graduates, we want to be sure to recognize the tremendous support these students have received from their loved ones, those who provided emotional, intellectual, and financial support to enable them to reach this point. So graduates, will you please stand and join me in recognizing those not wearing caps and gowns, parents, grandparents, spouses, siblings, and friends. Graduates, upon completion of your degrees, UT Arlington is now your alma mater. At this time, would everyone please stand for the singing of the alma mater, the words to which are printed in your program.
Faculty and guests, please be seated. Graduates, please remain standing. We are gathered here to share in the celebration of a transition in the lives of our students, the crossing of a symbolic threshold from students to learned members and leaders of society. You, our graduating students, represent our very best, and we expect that each of you will change the world for the better. Each of you has touched us in so many ways. We will miss you, yet we are happy that you are moving on to another chapter in your lives. On your shoulders now rests the responsibility for furthering the reputation of the University of Texas at Arlington by what you do and what you achieve from this day forth. And as you get ready to leave these hallowed halls, we ask that as alumni you stay connected and engaged with your alma mater. Come and visit us often. There will be no more tests, no exams, no late nights, no projects to be handed in. Talk about your university affiliation with pride. Play a role in furthering our continued drive for higher levels of excellence and celebrate your alma mater's future achievements just as we will be celebrating yours. We are now at the moment that you have been waiting for all these years, and probably through the ceremony counting down the minutes. The celebration of your success and the achievement of a tremendous milestone. By virtue of the authority vested by law in the Board of Regents of the University of Texas System and delegated to the University of Texas at Arlington, I hereby confer upon each of you the respective academic degrees for which you have been recommended, with all rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations pertaining thereto. Honored guests and members of the faculty, please join me in congratulating our graduates and the newest alumni of the University of Texas at Arlington. Congratulations.
Graduates, please remain standing while I invite you to participate in two important commencement traditions. First, for those graduates who received the official UT Arlington Maverick ring, you may now turn your ring so that UT Arlington faces outward. This symbolizes that you have earned your UT Arlington diploma and are now ready to face the world. From this day forward, all who encounter you will recognize you as a graduate of the University of Texas at Arlington. Congratulations. Second, graduates who have earned master's and doctoral degrees, you change your tassel from right to left when you receive your bachelor degrees, and it will always remain on the left from this day forward. Bachelor graduates, you may now switch your tassels to the left side I congratulate all of our graduates again for your accomplishments and wish you continued success as you begin the next chapter of your lives. As our ceremony concludes, the graduates will follow behind the faculty using the center aisle to exit the arena. Graduates, please stay in line until you reach the outside exit onto Morris Plaza. Guests, please remain seated until all graduates have exited the arena. You may exit by the north, northeast, of Northwest Stores and meet your graduates outside on Morris Plaza and begin your family celebrations. Thank you for your cooperation, and again, congratulations. Please post. The proceedings are now concluded. Thank you very much.